Hello, welcome back guys. So today we'll be making this shade, so stay tuned and let's get right in the video. So to start off, you mark your 2.5 inches and you draw a straight line across it, and that will serve as our button allowance, and you mark your shoulder line as well. So you start off by marking your bust point, your your waist, and as well as the length. For the length, I'm going for 26 inches, but I already added 1 inches allowance, and that makes it 27 inches. So I'll just mark just like a normal basic bodice. So I'll be drawing a straight line across it. So as you can see, my line is starting from that 2.5 allowance that we left in the front, so I'm not going across it. So I'll start off by marking my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement is 16 divided by 2, make it 8, but I'll be making it 8.5 inches because I'm drafting directly on my fabric. I'll be going down by 1 inches, and for the neckline I'll make it 2.5 inches, and I'll be connecting the 2 dots, and that will give me my shoulder slope. So after the shoulder slope, I will mark my 7.5 inches, and I'll be drawing a straight line across this, and that will serve as my armhole line. You already know how to make this. This is from the bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So right from that point, I'll mark a straight line that will serve as my chest line. So the next thing I'll be doing is to just place my bust measurement on the chest line, and the bust measurement is 36 divided by 4, make it 9 plus 2 inches, and that makes it 11. I'll be doing the same thing on the waistline. The waist is 30 divided by 2, 7.5 plus 2 inches as well, and the hip is 38. 38 is 9.5 plus 2 inches, making 11.5. So what I'll be doing next is that for my neck depth, I'll be making it 2.5 as well, and I'll be connecting the 2 dots. Please note, this is directly on my fabric and not on pattern, and that's the reason why all my measurements already have my half inches stitching allowance. So for the armhole, I'll be going in by half of an inch, and I'll be connecting the dots. So after that, I'll be connecting my dots from the waist to the bust. But note, this is a shirt and it's a free shirt and not a tight or shaped shirt. So I'll be going out from that particular dot I drew earlier by half of an inch, just to make it more free, and I'll be connecting the rest to the hip line. So next thing is that if you check the picture I showed earlier, it's actually a curved style shirt. So I'll just be going up by 3.5, and the cup is kind of very deep. Then I'll just be connecting it, just free, no something like. I'll just be connecting it to the front. And so the next thing for me to do is just to cut it out, and before cutting, just ensure you fold in your 2.5 inches allowance in before you cut your fabric. Like I said earlier, all my measurement is together with my stitching allowance. This is on fabric and not on pattern, so I've already included my stitching allowance all around. So I'll just start cutting it out. So guys, you notice that on shirt the shoulder stitch is always at the front, like it's not always on the shoulder, it's always like a little bit to the front. So therefore I'll be removing 1 inches from my fabric. So now I already said I'm drafting directly on my fabric, so that means I have to include my half of an inch to join the shoulder. So instead of removing a whole 1 inches, I'll be removing just half of an inch. So I'm just trying to show it here. This is me marking my half of an inch. So if I go down and mark another half of an inch, making it to be 1 inches. So if I should cut directly on that 1 inches, that means I have to hold it again with 1 inches, with half inches rather, and that will make it 1.5 instead of 1. So I'll just be removing just half of an inch, and the remaining half of an inch will serve as my stitching allowance. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying here. So you can see after holding it in, it will be as if I just remove 1 inches. So the next I'll be doing is just for me to open up the front, because that 1.5 inches, like I said earlier, will serve as the button allowance, and it will be on top of each other. And so I'll just open the front like I'm doing so. And that will be all for the front pattern. So I'll be moving to the back pattern, and I'll start off by marking just the way I did for the front, just that it will not be having that 2.5 inches for the button. And here, note the length for the back is longer than the front, even from the picture I showed earlier. So I'll be marking 29 inches here instead of 27 inches. Meanwhile, my 1 inches for the stitching allowance for the down part is already included. So I'll just be doing the replica of what I did in the front. So I would like to say this: before you draw your your shoulder line, make sure that you have at least 2 inches to the top, like 2 inches free to the top. Yeah, you see what I'll be using the 2 inches to do like that, but then make sure that you have at least 2 inches to the top. And I'm not really saying much here, because this is just like a basic bodice, and you just repeat what you did for the front here at the back. Just that the neckline, I went down by just 1 inches and not 2.5 inches. So the bust is still, I'll be using 11 inches, and I'll just be connecting it to the line, and I'll not be going in by any half of an inch here. And I'll be doing the same thing for the waist and for the hip as well. Sorry, for the length of the top, anyone. So I'll just be placing my front pattern on the back, making sure that the chest line, the bust line, and the waistline is aligned, just like I'm doing so. The reason why I'm doing this is because, like I said earlier, the back is longer than the front, and I wouldn't want the shaping to be different, like the point of shaping to be different. So I'm just using that to, to note where I'll be cutting directly on. As you can see, the 2.5 inches is folded before placing it on the back pattern. So I'll just be cutting my armhole. As you can see, I'm lifting it up to cut it out, and I'll be using the rest to just cut the side and as well as the shaping. So guys, I added 2 inches for the side allowance. That's because I want to use 1 inches for my ease allowance. This is not a fitted shirt. This is a a loose shirt. So for the shoulder line, we have to return back our 1 inches that we removed earlier. So instead of marking 1 inches, we have to add 1.5 inches because of the half inches to to sew it in. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So you add 1.5 inches to your shoulder line. Yes, half inches to sew it in, and 1 inches to replace what we removed earlier. So I'll just be connecting my neckline to that new shoulder line, and I'll be cutting out my neckline as well as the shoulder. And basically that'll be all for the back pattern as well. So the next thing is to go to the sewing part. So I'll start off with the front, and from that 2.5 inches that we left earlier in the front, what you'll be doing is that you fold in half of an inch, like I'm doing so, and the remaining 2 inches is divided by 2 and making it 1. So the lines you'll be having for that wideness will just be 1 inches. Don't forget, you first of all fold it half inches, then you fold in 1 inches. So that will make your 2.5 inches allowance left to remain just 1 inches. So you'll be doing that on both sides. And the next, I'll be joining the, after doing that, I'll go ahead and join the shoulder as well, with the right side facing each other. So I'll just go to my sewing machine and join my shoulder line as well as the button placket. So here I've already like stitched down my button placket, and as well as I've already joined my shoulder line. So if you know, since the armhole line will not be aligned, so you have to make the armhole aligned, and you have to notch wherever you're having, like you can see the 1 inch is already coming to the front, and you just notch that new armhole line that you're having now. You just notch that part here. Yes, just like that. And I'll just be trimming off excess that is remaining here. As you can see, the button placket is ready. Yeah. So there's a tutorial on how to make this particular collar. So the next, I'll just be fixing my collar to the shirt. So what you'll be doing is that you notch, I'm sorry, the camera is not really focusing here. So what you do is that you notch the center of your neckline, and as well you notch the center of your collar. Sorry, the camera is not catching it well. I didn't know it's actually, it have already shifted. So just notch both the middle of your collar and as well as the middle of your neckline. So what you'll be doing is that with the right side facing each other, that is with the part that doesn't have the stay facing each other, like this, you'll just be stitching it with half of an inch all around. And I'll just take it to my sewing machine and do just that. So this is me after stitching it. As you can see, it's already sitting beautifully on your neckline. So what next is that you'll be using the part that have the stay to just cover up the stitches you made earlier, just to hide it and secure it. And you'll be running a stitch on it very close to the tip. So guys, please don't forget to watch the video on how to make this to make your collar. I'll be dropping the link in the description box. So ensure you watch it to understand what I'm doing here. So here I've already fixed my collar, and it's already looking so beautiful. As you can see, it's very neat, secure, like it's very neat. So what you'll be doing next is just to go ahead and fix your sleeve. You can decide to use any type of sleeves you want, but for me, I decided to use a normal shirt sleeve, and this is the final look. As you can see, this is looking so beautiful. Like, I really love this. I pinned down the button placket just to secure it. The collar is sitting well, the side, everything is looking so neat and beautiful. I really love how this turned out. And for the sleeve, like I said earlier, I'm using a normal shirt sleeve. You can decide to use any type. It might be a straight sleeve, it might be a sleeve with a elastic band, any type you want. The tutorial for this type of sleeve will be dropping very soon, but not now. I'm sorry I didn't make that. And that will be all, guys. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. I'll be seeing you in my next video, guys. Bye bye.